The Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative, Light Great Russia, date February 21st, 2023. Notification. We hereby express your respect and notify you that the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, being the sovereign subject of international law, was founded in July 2018. Since March 16, 2019, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia has been registered and accredited with the United Nations, namely the General Secretariat and 26 major organizations and commissariats of the UN General Assembly. As a result, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia has been assigned a registration number 602-009 in the UN system. We have the honor to notify you of the following. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia was established on July 10, 2018, on the basis of international law on share, consumer, cooperative, societies and unions, and is a subject of international law. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia has the status of sovereign, extraterritorial, and extracontinental society. In the spring of 2020, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia concluded a sovereign global agreement with the Sovereign Supreme of the countries, Order of St. John Jerusalem, Rose, Malta, the Supreme Sovereign Order of Hospitallers. Based on the norms of international law and the laws of the member states of the United Nations, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia has the right to carry out its activities in any country of the world, and not a single country in the world has the right to refuse the registration of the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia. Based on the norms of international law, namely the international law on share, consumer, cooperative societies and unions, on the basis of the right of sovereign, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia is not a subject of taxation in all countries of the world. The Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia as a sovereign extraterritorial and extracontinental society, on the basis of the international legislation on share, consumer, cooperative societies and unions, on the basis of the Charter of the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, by the law of the Sovereign founded the International Treasury of the Civil Society Light Great Russia. Subsequently, on the recommendations of colleagues from the United Nations from February 7, 2020, the Sovereign International Treasury of the Civil Society Light Great Russia was renamed as the International Treasury Monetary One. On July 18, 2019, the International Treasury Monetary One obtained registration and global accreditation at the United Nations, as a result of which a registration number was assigned in the United Nations system. According to the decision of the Board of December 27, 2022, the International Treasury Monetary One, as a sovereign subject of international law, from January 1, 2023, is approved to be named as a sovereign International Treasury Monetary One. We hereby confirm that the International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of the World Account with the World Bank, account number 010001488877C3AM01, distributed among various banks in the countries around the world. As a reminder, the International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of the World Global Account with World Bank, account number 01-1-735-16-222-777-888-999, distributed among various banks in the countries around the world. As a reminder, International Treasury Monetary One is the owner and manager of assets, including accounts under the names White Spiritual Boy, Spiritual Wonder Boy, Spiritual Wonder Brothers, Morning Star, King David, Prophet Muhammad, Demas and Saint Timothy, White Mongolia, White Vatican, White Eagle, Maria Sinukuan or Divine Crystal, Maria Banahaw or Divine Sunflower, Maria Cristina or Divine Magdalene, Maria Makiling or Divine Ester Egg, Falcon, Alpha Omega, and other accounts placed with various banks in 89 countries around the world. Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One as the sovereign treasury of the sovereign society, being the owner of all world assets and the main regulator of the world financial system, on the basis of the Global Sovereign Agreement concluded between the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia and the Sovereign Supreme over the countries, Order of St. John Jerusalem, Rose, Malta, Supreme Sovereign Order of the Hospitallers, as well on the basis of the Global Sovereign Agreement, concluded between the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One and the Sovereign Order of St. John Jerusalem, Rhodes, Malta, by the Supreme Sovereign Order of Hospitallers, together with the Supreme Sovereign Order of Hospitallers, established the main historical bank of the Order of Hospitallers. Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, as a sovereign extraterritorial and ex-continental society, has the right to voluntary donation, investment, and any other financing of any subject of the law of the world, based on the right of the sovereign and international rules of law. The Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia informs you with the dignity that, in accordance with the recommendations of the International Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, Basel the First Standard, executing the resolutions and orders of the owner and chief operator of the world financial system, the Sovereign International Treasury Monetary One, on the basis of the decision of the Board of the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, as well as on the basis of the registration of the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia in the Corporation Russian Federation, Russia, gold financial assets were allocated in the form of real money of the World Currency Monetary One, XEU, in the amount of 986,667,509,939,000 Bank of Russian banknotes, rubles, placed on the account of the board of the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, as well as placed in the balance sheet of Russia Federation Corporation, and accordingly in the balance sheet of the International Monetary Fund. As a result, on the basis of right of the sovereign and international rules of law, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia became the owner and Corporation Russian Federation. As a result, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, following the international protocol based on the international norms of notification and application law, on February 8, 2023, sent a corresponding statement as follows. Application number 9, PR, INF, dated on the 8th of February 2023 to the President of the Russian Federation, V.V. Putin. Application number 7, MID, INF, dated on the 8th of February 2023 to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, S.V. Lavrov. Application number 8, MOF, INF, dated February the 8th, 2023 to the Minister of Finance of the Russian Federation, A.G. Siluanov. Application number 10, INF, dated the 8th of February to the Chairman of the State Duma of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, V.V. Volodin. Application number 11, CFCF, INF, dated on February the 8th, 2023 to the Chairman of the Federation Council of the Federal Assembly of the Russian Federation, V.I. Matvienko. Application number 12, PMIN, INF, dated on the 8th of February 2023, Prime Minister of the Russian Federation, M.V. Mishustin. In accordance with the protocol based on the international norms of the notification and application law, within 10 working days from the date of sending the notification or application to the address of a particular legal entity, the particular legal entity, in case of its reasonable agreement, does not consent, is obliged to lodge an objection against the notification or application received by it, reasonable objection, but based on the fact that the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia has declared its right to absolute ownership of the company Russian Federation, Russia, on the basis of hard fact, complete a transaction, not a single legal entity to which the above statements were sent has lodged a reasonable objection. In this connection, on the basis of the international protocol based on the right of the sovereign and international rules of law, including notification and declarative international rules of law, the entire protocol for establishing a new absolute owner of the company Russian Federation, Russia, represented by the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, has been completed. We also inform you that on the basis of the decision of the Military People's Council of the USSR, GP of the USSR, number 174 SPK, dated September 13, 2018, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia on the territory of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics has the status of the People's State Body. We hereby inform you that the balance sheet of the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, placed in the Russian Federation Corporation, is the balance sheet of the Sovereign Society. On the basis of the international financial legislation, the Russian Federation Corporation and other organizations do not have the right to independently use the above-placed balance sheet without official written permission and instructions from the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia. In the event of any independent use of the sovereign balance sheet of the Sovereign Society of the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia without its written permission and instructions, such financial transactions are included in the category of international financial crimes and are subject to immediate blocking with the criminal liability for the guilty participants in these crimes. Given that the debt of the transcontinental, industrial, and financial corporation headed by the criminal families of the Rothschild, Rockefellers, Barishs, and other names of the Illuminati, its founders and managers to the Sovereign International Monetary Fund, is about $270 quadrillion USA, from which it follows that the transcontinental, industrial, and financial corporation doesn't have a real opportunity to repay its debt in full. This means that the transcontinental, industrial, and financial corporation headed by the criminal clans of the Rothschild, Rockefellers, Barishs, and other families, its founders and managers, neither directly nor through its satellites, intermediaries, and vessels has the right to own and manage any subject of the law of the world, including the subject of the law is the company Russian Federation, Russia. Based on the above fact about the placement by the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia of real money monetary fund (XCU) is the amount of 986,667,509,939,000 banknotes of the Bank of Russia, rubles, in the balance of the company Russian Federation, Russia. The Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia became the absolute owner of the company Russian Federation, Russia. As per the above, the Sovereign International Consumer Cooperative Light Great Russia, by the right of the sovereign, on the basis of the norms of international law, which also includes the norms of corporate law, instructs all international and country registers within 10 days to make change in the account of international and country registers, with the introduction of information about the new owner of the company Russian Federation, Russia, which is the Sovereign International Cooperative Light Great Russia. Taking this opportunity, we once again express you our respect and declare to you our favorable disposition and interest in joint cooperation in the direction of the socio-economic development of the world. His Majesty Alexander, King of Kings, White Spiritual Boy, Deputy Chairman of the Board of the Sovereign International Cooperative Light Great Russia, Secretary General of the International Treasury Monetary Fund, President of White Spiritual Boy RSB Global Corp Incorporated, Grand Intendant of the Sovereign Order of St. John of Jerusalem, Rhodes, Malta, the Supreme Sovereign of the Order of Hospitallers. Om.